There's been a lot of work from Xbox and Compulsion to make South of Midnight something very special, but did that dream come true? Can you feel that? Spring is coming. It's great to be outside. It's great to be out of the basement, away from all the screens. Well, I guess I'm looking at a screen right now. But I want to tell you guys about South of Midnight. This is the latest from Compulsion Games, and I've been a fan of this studio. They've made some beautiful titles in the past. They really have this great sensibility around aesthetics. We Happy Few wasn't perfect, but it was a really clever, really cool game. And so I was excited to see where they were going to next with South of Midnight, and I have been ensconced in this fantasy that takes us to the deep south in the U.S. You play a woman named Hazel who lives in a town called Prospero, and Prospero gets devastated by a hurricane, and I'm not going to spoil too much, but then Hazel comes to understand the fact that she is a weaver, and she's got these fantasy powers that allow her to weave in and out of different realities, and she encounters all kinds of great creations. And I don't know how much this is based on real Southern folklore or not, but like an over-the-top alligator, which I think a lot of people have seen from the trailers, and there's lots of other cool manifestations and creations that she encounters along this path where she's on a pursuit to save people and help people. And so she's interweaving, there's that word again, in between the past and the present, and she's seeing ghosts and all of these evil manifestations called haints. And she's fighting them with these spinning hooks that allow her to weave all kinds of threads around her enemies and stuff, and she's hacking and slashing at them. And she's got this ability to glide, and if there are wind blasts, she can kind of fly for a little while as well. And so she's got these great kind of superhero-like abilities, which are fun to use. She can even sort of web zip in certain situations as well, which is cool. So it does become very fun to traverse the environments as Hazel. At the beginning of the game, though, it's a little bit more constricted, a little bit more janky, and I was like, uh-oh, man, are they going to be able to pull this off? But as the weaving powers come into play, so does the environment that you're running through open up, and all of these levels are very intricately crafted. And I think the real story of this game is the beauty of it. It employs this stop-motion animation kind of style to it, which is reminiscent of what the Spider-Verse movies kind of played with, although they went off in all kinds of awesome tangents. But I really love the look of South of Midnight. It is a gorgeous game. It really took me aback when I started to see those early trailers, and I can tell you, sitting down to finish the game, I never got bored of the art style. It is gorgeous from beginning to end. And I also love the lush musical score that accompanies you all the way through. There are like chants and kids singing and folk music from the American South. There's just this great kind of eclectic collage of different kinds of music and energy, and it really sort of takes you to a place, which I thought was just lovely. I mean, it was great to just escape into this world of South of Midnight. I also like the performances of all of the actors in the game. Ahmad Best actually has a role in this title. Yes, Jar Jar Binks' actor has a role in this game, and he's great. And Adrienne Ray, who plays Hazel, is amazing. Like, she is so grounded, and you really feel like she is a perfect avatar for what you would be thinking and going through. There were many times where she expresses exactly what I'm expressing as I'm playing the game, which I love. I love that in video games.
What the hell?
Hurry up! Jump! And she's great, and I thought the script was really cool. It's a great interweaving of themes around sorrow and loss and regret and salvation, and it's moving, and there are real sort of crushing fears that Hazel has about losing people or misreading people and not getting to people in time, and I enjoyed that. It really is her hero's journey in this game. And it also feels like the beginning of something as well, complete with that sort of Uncharted 1 style jank, which is the game that it kind of brought back for me a little bit. And I don't know if this game is going to be a massive success. It's a day one game on Game Pass, as most of the Xbox published and funded games are these days. It likely will come to other machines as well. What I can tell you, though, is that it is gorgeous, and it is different, and it is a brand new property, which I think we all have to applaud. It's great that developers are out there trying to roll the dice on something that we're not familiar with. It's not a sequel to anything. It's not based on anything. And I love all of that about it. It's just that the gameplay doesn't really elevate to the potential that the production quality of this title suggests. It's okay. It's all right to hack and slash. You're not going to mistake the combat for something from Software or a Batman Arkham game or something like that. It's just okay to get into the combat. And the exploration is all right. There are little areas where you can sneak in and grab some of the currency that allows you to level up and stuff like that. But most of that is pretty straightforward. It's not like you're going to be really scratching your head about where to go next. And it's also pretty linear in its journey and its path. I mean, there are some circuitous areas where you can deviate off the sort of mainline course and you don't want to jump into the swamp water and stuff like that or you'll drown. The boss fights are pretty fun in terms of their style, but they're not really revolutionary in their execution. And so it's this interesting dynamic where the gameplay is decent, but the story here really is about the production quality and the storytelling and the craftsmanship of the way it's presented to us. So I'm conflicted a bit. I would say that the gameplay is about a 6.5 or 7 out of 10, but the production qualities are right up there at about a 9. So I'm right in the middle. I would give South of Midnight a 7.5 out of 10.